Good evening, everyone. Another work day down in the books. So today I thought we'd talk about, I think we'd talk about tolerance today. I was kind of going back and forth what I wanted to talk about today, and then I kind of lost it. And then as I was getting ready to go, I was like, yeah, I think I'll talk about that. And I bring that up because, you know, as I look back on everything that I've been through, I find that my tolerance level is extremely high, because most folk wouldn't be able to handle it. I think most folk would have quit a long time ago, would have did whatever. And I just think that, you know, the Lord has blessed me with a high tolerance level. If that's, I guess it depends on if it's a blessing or whatever, but I'll take it as a blessing. And you know, I think about what not just me but others go through on a daily basis and put up with, that nobody ever knows about, that will never be publicized, you know, that they don't talk about, but yet they tolerate so much. And it seems like, you know, either nobody cares, which they probably don't in these days and times. Nobody cares, nobody is coming to the rescue, which in these days most people don't. And just, you know, and just, you know, and just do it in silence. And I guess in this video, that would be, I guess, you know, I'm kind of speaking on behalf of them, because I'm one of them. I don't say a whole lot when it comes to that. A lot less now than I used to. As I've stated in previous videos, I didn't know how to handle things. And so hence, again, it's easy to be negative than it is to be, it's easier to be negative than it is to be positive. And so I was being extremely negative, and I just had an outlook on things that just was not very positive. And so, you know, it's a day-to-day effort for sure. And you know, we tolerate a lot of things, and you know, and it's amazing how much we put up with as human beings. It's amazing how much we put up with. It really is. And I just think that, you know, that you know, through it all, you know, we yet are still here, being resilient, trying to put on a brave face, try to keep a smile on our face, but yet we're going through so much, and a lot of people are going through. I'm just not speaking for me. You know, a lot of people are going through, whatever it might be. A lot of people are going through, and you know, there's no help in sight. There's no one to save the day or come rescue them. And even worse, they may not be spiritual and can't let God know that they're going through something, and put it in His hands and let Him solve it. So I guess this video is kind of a shout out to them, in that, you know, you tolerate a lot of things. Some are worse than others. Some are more important than others. Some may be trivial to others, but they're not trivial to you. And I just think that, you know, the tolerance of people in general is just an amazing thing. It's amazing what we tolerate. It's amazing what we put up with. It's amazing that more people aren't dying of stress. And they probably are, because stress causes other issues. Take it from me, I know. Stress is what caused my seizures, and in turn caused all my physical damage. Caused all, you know, a lot of things. I've been dead once, almost dead twice. The human species and the human body is able to tolerate a whole lot of things. You know, it's amazing that this body that we occupy is so perfectly created, that God so perfectly created our bodies to have all this redundancy and all these things that you know, that allow us to survive while we're in these bodies. That we're able to tolerate so much. But at the same time, tolerance only goes so far as you are able to take. And I say that because, you know, people are tolerant to a point. And sometimes when you reach that point, you snap. We've all been there. I've been there. We've all been there. More than once. And I think the key, of course, is staying positive and staying prayed up and staying on an even keel and knowing your limits, knowing what your breaking point is, and moving past that breaking point to the next level. So you could look at breaking points as obstacles or roadblocks. And when you are able to overcome that obstacle or roadblock, then you move on to the next obstacle and roadblock, whatever that may be. And so, it's part of becoming more tolerant. And when I mean by more tolerant, I'm not necessarily talking about tolerance of just people and environment, but of everything. And so, it's tolerance of not only being able to put up with people and issues and all these things, but situations and things that we find ourselves in that it's hard for us to deal with. And everybody's tolerance level is different. Everybody has different life experiences and has had to put up with different types of things that that would break a normal person. And so it's I don't know, it's just it's an amazing thing what we can put up with. we all go through, whether it be from our spouses, our children, family members, co-workers, whatever it might be. We all go through a lot. And to me, it's just astounding that we're able to put up with so much and still be able to, live our lives. Now, they might not be normal, but we're still able to do the things we need to do. People in foreign countries that don't have nowhere near as much as we do have such a high tolerance level to be able to make do with almost nothing. And it's just an amazing thing. So yeah, it's just an amazing thing. So I just want to encourage everyone to do your best to stay positive. Do your best to be nice. Do your best to not jump the gun, not to reach that breaking point, not to snap, but to try to be patient, to try to be silent as much as possible when needed to be. There's always that time you have to say something and speak up. But yeah, it's just an amazing resilience and tolerance factor that we as human beings have. So I just want to encourage everybody, so you're not the only one going through. You're not the only one that seems like there's nobody out there that understands. There is somebody that understands. And so I just want to kind of throw this out there, and just encourage everybody to keep holding on, to continue to stay positive. If you're not if you don't know the Lord as your personal Savior, then get to know Him. Religion is a very important part of daily life, and not just for Christians, but Muslims and everybody else. It's important. It's an important balance. And unfortunately, our lives are so unbalanced because of the fact that, we have so much going on, so many things that we have to deal with, so many distractions, all these things that does not help in us living normal, just calm, productive lives. And having a productive life isn't necessarily just what you produce and what you do. Having a productive life is having a good family environment, having a good personal mental state and good physical state, and all these things are included in having a good productive life. And so yeah, it's an amazing thing, the resilience of human beings. And yeah, it's an amazing thing. So I just want to encourage everybody to hang in there, build up that tolerance. When you do, you'll be able to put up with more things. Build that tolerance up, You know, that way people don't bother you as much. Things don't bother you as much. Situations don't bother you as much. Build that tolerance up so that you can, be able to live a much more fruitful and calm life. And so that's all I wanted to say on today. Hope this encourages somebody. If you got any comments, please leave them below. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Again, appreciate everyone. And if you're going through, leave a comment. Again, I just appreciate everyone. It was kind of came to me, and so I just wanted to speak on it today. Keep it short, sweet, to the point. And I might not get a whole lot of views, but I just wanted to say that, and then we'll see what we talk about on the next time. God bless you.